40.
I'm a believer. I couldn't leave him if I tried. Yes, yes, yes. We are the monkeys, and I'm a believer. And I couldn't face. And I saw his face, and I was a believer. I couldn't leave him if I might try. The first time I saw his face, I fell in love, and it's killing me because I might die, and I want to see him in person so badly. And I come from the same city. Hi, that's my son over there. And doesn't he look cute? He looks just like Neil.
Hey, Neil.
He looks just like Neil Diamond. Awesome. Anyway, Neil. Herzlich Samir Punam. I'm a solitary woman from Queens, New York. I hail from Flushing, Queens. And I can really cook up a Mama Lushin soup and a real Yiddish kraploch and kashavanishka soup. You need to taste it. I'm the same Eleanor Fleischman that's on YouTube with the jingle, with the political jingle about, the government shutdown. Anyway, I also have some other things to tell you, Neil, that my son plays piano very, very well. And he has high-functioning autism, and that's his gift to the music industry because he plays it all in his brain. And he can sing, and he can dance, and he can rap. And you know what, Neil? He just wants to hear himself play one time in front of you in California. That is his main wish in life, to carry on your legacy as a musician. He's not such a great singer, but he can play the heck out of a Steinway, Paul Legrand, or a baby grand piano, because we once had one in our house here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we are a very Hamisher family. There was me, there was my mother, there was my father, there was my baby sister, my grandma, and an aunt or two, and an uncle or two, and a couple of cousins. But we had a few girls and a few boy cousins, and that was it in Queens, New York. And I've come a long way, Neil, from there. And I married a man down here back in 1991 who owned a little haberdasher store. And he also sold brassieres and girdles and ladies' suits and ladies' pantyhose or stockings.
You're gonna like this Yiddish mama a lot, Neil.
And
she's made for you.
Neil, when I have my shadel on, when I have my wig on, you wouldn't recognize me with my makeup and my perfume and my jewelry. And I love to dance, Neil. I could dance with you all night long when you do the way you did your medley.
And the BBC concert.
And your BBC concert. To me, you're still a puppy face, and that translates into a very young, handsome Jewish Punim from Brooklyn. And I have been to the Brill building because I used to live in Queens for many years, and I rode the subways very casually and quite often. And I once went down to see what the Brill building was like. The door was open. It was in the middle of the afternoon, and it was on a weekday. And I went in there, and I looked at those places where you dropped some of your songs and where you asked them to please read this. Well, please hear this, what I'm saying, Neil. I know you're married, and I know she's your third wife. I'm a widow, and I was once married and divorced, and I had 2 children from my first marriage, and I was up north. I lived in New Jersey, and then I met this haberdasher when he was on a business trip in New York City in the Garment District on 7th Avenue, and we just coincidentally bumped into each other. And he struck up a conversation with me, And now he's deceased, but he bamboozled me into coming down to this little southern Goyish town here, Fayetteville. And it's really a military town. You know, we have the 82nd Airborne here. We have Fort Bragg. Anyway, but it's a nice town. It's clean. There's no air pollution. There's no buses running back and forth and with the rumbling of subways and cars honking, you know, and there are other beautiful noises here and other beautiful natural scenery to be seen here. We have beautiful dogwood trees that bloom in the spring, and we have a dogwood festival, and we have azalea flowers, and once in a blue moon we'll get hit with maybe a couple of thunderstorms and a few hurricanes. But you and I, Neil, hail from the Zelbert Platz from New York City. You're a Brooklyn boy who was shy, and you held your guitar up very high, close to your neck, or, you know, close to your face to kind of hide yourself a bissela. And me, I'm a writer, and I'm a very, basically an introvert. But in my older years, I've become more of an extrovert, and that's why I'm on YouTube, putting a few of my things on YouTube. And I'm very well educated. I'm a college graduate. I'm a graduate of Long Island University, and I majored in Spanish and secondary education. And I hablar español bastante bien, con mucho gusto. And I think you would really like to meet me, and maybe we could collaborate. Maybe we could make a sequel to The Jazz Singer together. I saw that movie, and it was very interesting, and it really touched my heart, Neil. And it was a highly appropriate pick that you did when you picked out that one from the list. And I know it was a remake of the Al Jolson story. And you did a fantastic job, a marvelous job with the film. And you and I should meet, you know, over coffee or whatever, coffee and cake. And you can contact me here at Fayetteville, North Carolina on the YouTube website. My name is Eleanor Fleischman. I'm a 59-year-old Jewish Hamisha widow. And I know how to cook kasha vanishkis and chicken noodle soup, and I put in celery and onions and carrots and parsley. It's absolutely delicious. A bits of salt, a bits of black pepper, you know. I boil the chicken legs, and I boil the chicken breasts, and the drippings go into the soup, and then I make some very nice noodles with it, and it's a real meal. It's very nice. And, of course, I have a dog, you know, and he has to sit by the dining room table. His name is Onyx. He's a black standard poodle, and he's very calm and very sweet. And he sits next to me and between me and my son, Ovadia Fleischman. And you really need to meet my son because he resembles you, Neil, quite a bit from your youth, from your younger years. He has your type of wavy hair. He has medium to dark brown hair and brown eyes. His eyebrows aren't as heavy as yours, but they're thick enough. And he loves to dance, play the piano, he raps. Wow. And in spite of his disability, he has a very jovial, upbeat attitude about life in general. He has what they call Asperger's syndrome, which is under the umbrella of high-functioning autism. But he's very, very bright. It's just that his brain is wired a little differently than the average person. And that's how he discovered his musical talent. When he was a little boy, he sat down at the Steinway piano that his father had here in our house in North Carolina. And he started to play little different tunes. And he even was able to figure out how to play boogie woogie. It's incredible how he does it. He's a regular Jerry Lee Lewis, except a Jewish with a Jewish twist, with a Jewish last name. So Neil, anyway, I know you're 72 years old and I'm 59, But anyway, give me a call. Contact me. My phone number here is 910-678-8980. You can call me Collect if you like. I'd like to speak to you about helping me to help my son get into the entertainment industry in California. And I know you have a heart of gold. And my son is going to be very respectful of you. And he'd be very easy to work with because he would take orders from you. He would listen to you. And he would like you if you have the strength left in you and if you have the vigor left in you to teach him the early stages of the acoustic guitar. And that's about the size of what I have to say right now. But anyway, I hope your mother Rose is doing well. I know your father Akiva passed on, and I'm extending my heartfelt condolences to you in that direction. I'm very sorry. I've seen them dance so lovely together when they were young, and when they brought you home in that nice swaddled blanket from the hospital to your father's haberdasher shop. That's the first place they took their Bechor, their firstborn, to the little haberdasher shop in Brooklyn. And it was called Diamonds, and had some like kind of awnings hanging over it. And I know those streets quite well. The New York City, Brooklyn streets. And my time in New York might have been done too soon because our paths never crossed. But you never know. Through technology, maybe miracles can happen and we can somehow meet and have a business lunch and, be a little bit social with it and laugh a bissel. And you can meet my son. His name's Ovadia Fleischman. His middle name is Henry. That was after his granddaddy. And his granddaddy liked to daven and wear tefillin. And we also have a long family history here. And I think it would be very interesting for you to hear the roots from where I came, especially since my grandparents came here with steerage tickets from Poland and Russia in 1912, fleeing the rumblings of Kristallnacht. And of course they came in Ellis Island, and that's where they landed. And my grandmother had an older brother who was already here in New York. He was a tailor. He had the trade of being a tailor. And he took her with his newlywed wife to their apartment. And there they within a very short span of time, within a week or so of landing in the United States, they introduced her to a nice young gentleman and also an immigrant from Russia, from Little Minsk. It was called Minsk Korodok. And they came for lunch to my great uncle and great aunt's apartment. And my grandmother was told to put on her nice dress and a little bissel of lipstick and a little rouge she wore in those days. And it was a match. It was a shidduch. So the older brother and the new Kala, the new wife, the sister-in-law to be, made a match for my young grandma, who was only in her late teens at the time, and she left her parents overseas in Europe because there was no money, there was not enough geld to pay for the tickets for the parents to come. So as they gate us, this is what happened, Neil. And I'm sure you can relate, or your parents and grandparents could relate to this. So with God's help, perhaps if you see me and hear me on this YouTube video website, you'll contact me. And that's about all I have to say for now. Be well, be gesund. And you have a very Shana Punim at age 72. I watched you when you were in Boston. And Boston is strong and New York is strong. And everything is going to be good for them up north. Amen. Okay.